Now we will look at how to identify or calculate out the direction cosines. Okay, by definition, say for example, alpha, beta, and gamma are the angles a vector A makes with the origin of to the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis respectively. All right, and u, which is another vector, is a unit vector in the direction of A. So there are two vectors involved here. A, which has angles of alpha, beta, and gamma from origin to axis x, y, and z respectively, and vector u, which is actually a unit vector but in the direction of the vector A earlier. Okay, so then you can conclude that this is how you calculate your u1, u2, u3, okay, using the cosine formula or the dot product formula, right? And you simply conclude that u1, u2, u3 is respectively cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma. Therefore, your vector u, simply because it's a unit vector, you can reduce the components to being as cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma. And these components are known as or called the direction cosines of the vector A. So these are the direction cosines. So when it's a direction cosines, it has to be cosine of an angle, right? Because they are simply known as direction cosines of a vector. You also have to take note that your vector u, which was the unit vector just now, obviously has a magnitude of 1. And how do you calculate the magnitude? It has to be each component being squared, cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma being squared, u1, u2, u3 being squared, and then added up, and you find the set of it. It has to equal to 1 simply because u is a unit vector. And you can conclude that alpha, beta, and gamma is not independent because the values depend on each other, because it's cosine of each angle, and it has to equal to 1. That means alpha, beta, and gamma are not independent. So for example, if you need to find the direction ratio and the direction cosines of the vector A being 6i plus 8j plus 24k, so in order to find the direction ratio simply refers to the magnitude of each component of I, j, and k, which is respectively 6 for x and 8 for y and 24 for k, which is for z, right? So you have 6 ratio 8 ratio 24. So and for a basic rule of thumb, when you have ratio, you need to simplify it. Okay, so we divided everything with 2, so we got 3 ratio 4 ratio 12. Okay, so that's known as direction ratio. And in order to determine the direction cosine, you need to find the magnitude of each component. So it's a 6 square plus 8 square plus 24 square insert, got 26. All right, you also need to have the unit vector. So the unit vector would simply be each component, example x being 6 over the magnitude multiplied by I, 8 over 26 respectively, and 24 over 26. And in order to get the cosine, so obviously because this is a unit vector for A, so 6 over 26 will represent cos alpha, and 8 over 26 will represent cos beta, and 24 over 26 will represent cos gamma.